Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. We're taking a quick look here at Dogecoin. I'm just going to quickly explain why it's probably best not to consider shorting this coin and how just super awesome on fire it is. Now, I don't have any fib levels pulled up because the price is running. And in case you're not familiar, generally speaking with fib levels, you want to either take the previous daily candlestick closure, which doesn't give us much indication here, or you take key level supports from before based on either daily or weekly candlestick closure. So we're going to take a look at that as well. The important thing I want to also recognize too here with Dogecoin is that liquidation levels, unless you kind of zoom in, are going to be completely swept to the upside. So just to kind of clarify here, majority of shorts pretty much got destroyed here. We got some late shorts at 18 to 18.5. At least they have a stop loss and or liquidation event in that range, which makes sense because I think it's 18.2, if I'm not mistaken, as a key level resistance. So let's take a quick look at the local, or more so the last 12 hours in liquidation. And before we do, just want to say thank you again so much for watching. The amazing support from everybody. You guys are awesome. Guys and gals, appreciate you very much. Don't forget to hit the like button, show your support. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So daily time frame. Back last 12 hours here. Let's actually look at the last 12 hours here first and just recognize that there is some liquidation above us, 18 to 18.2. That makes sense, just above the local high. But when you look at the liquidation here, we can see a massive concentration between 16 and 16.5. Okay, so that is potentially the next area of retracement. It's just below the local low. Okay, so the price hasn't gone any lower than 16.3 in the last 24 hours, essentially, or more so last 12 hours. And that is why there's a lot of liquidation there. So I'm mentioning that because if Dogecoin does pull back, that may be a good consideration for a way to add to your spot bag at that level, or essentially consider a long at that point. Now, you don't want a long in the blind in situations like this, but that would be a cause for consideration. Now, take a look at the this is the last 5 days liquidation here. I more so look at this for the delta to kind of see if there's any, there's too much in one way or the other. Because if you're not familiar, delta on liquidation basically tells us, hey, we've got way more longs than shorts in the market right now. While that adds emphasis to the fact that we're probably more likely to sustain the price action, we maintain this for too long and it ends up being a detriment because what goes up must come down, or the inevitability here is that the delta continues lower as long secure profit and the price will not pull back. So the key takeaway is that if people buy and sell like they're supposed to, we wouldn't have these kind of issues. But since people are greedy, we probably got people hanging on from 14, 15, 16 cents here and 100x leverage long. We're inevitably going to see that capitulation because those are present and those are there, right? So just know, even though Dogecoin shouldn't pull back, it very well could, and that may be a reason why. But the truth is, when we look at support and resistances, we want to recognize that we're in pretty decent shape. Let me explain. So the most recent high, we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 attempts to break 17.4, and it couldn't happen. That was back in May. Now that we're above that, and we just say hypothetically can close above that, 17.4 should be a new support. So likely what's going to happen here is we'll probably see either a flag or a bullish type of rectangle pattern where the price action maintains this range. Okay, and that's ultimately what we're looking for. That's where we'd want to consider a long, pending Bitcoin doesn't make a run towards 70K or lower. Okay. Having said that, we look a little bit more previous, we can see a very consistent number here at 18.2. We've already got that marked on the chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 attempts to break before it broke up, implying that that is likely going to be a resistance here moving forward. And I know it seems kind of crazy, right, to think about this happened like 8 or 9 months ago. Why is it relevant now? Well, the truth is people don't forget, and it's just one of those consistent numbers, and there's still a lot of positions that may be open from that level, and people are wanting to break even. So what they'll do is they'll sell at that point when the price gets to that point too. Again, a lot of little speculative stuff here, but for the most part, these things do kind of add up. And all we're doing right now is just building a case for or against taking a long or a short. At this point, tremendous amount of volume flowing in. We're over 70 on the RSI, stochastic swinging up, money flow index right there with the RSI. All signs not to take a long position. Sorry, I misspoke. All signs not to take a short position. Hypothetically, you take a long, you'll find more success. I don't prefer to take longs at the top here, or what feels like the top. It will feel less like the top when the RSI start to cool down, okay? And that's generally what I like to look for. So generally speaking, I think a long right now may seem a little presumptuous or premature, but I've been absolutely wrong in the past. In fact, yesterday we had the exact opposite scenario for most altcoins. Dogecoins is an exception, but like SUI, for example, testing that 164 support level. Everything was fully bearish on the charts. There was no reason to take a long position. It's now upwards of 205, like a 30% correction in less than 24 hours. So that's just how crypto is, folks. You got to recognize that You can't get them all right. And the best thing to do is to be conservative and safe instead of FOMOing in. And right now is just a FOMO emotional heightened state right now where everybody's euphoric and they're buying in before it's too late. Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's happening right now, is that it leads to some irrationality in the market. So 4-hour time frames, same thing here. Everything is fully bullish. Take my word for it. There's nothing here at all letting us know there's potential shift in momentum. You could argue that we're overextended, but what's overextension when Bitcoin has been moving for 20 hours plus after it's massively overextended and it doesn't even want to slow down? Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 4-hour candles. We're literally 30 plus hours of continuation in the upward direction after being fully overextended, leading into resistance. So again, not much logic is found here, folks. And that's just kind of how it goes. So again, at this point, the best thing to do, I feel, is just to kind of wait for the price action to kind of cool off a little bit. It would make sense for the price, if it were to pull back, to contract this local high at about 16.8. That would be a sensible place for a long, because a lot of time local highs are retested as new lows. So that seems like a good area of consideration. I'm just going to go ahead and set alert there to be safe. While that may never happen, and the price will probably continue higher from here, it would be nice to have that as an alternative / potential option for us. Okay, so again, that's just kind of how I like to trade myself personally. It's okay if you're the FOMO type and you want to try to just jump in. You're probably in very significant profit today, and I congratulate you for that. While we took some nice profits ourselves on our Bitcoin long, 40%, we hit from 67 upwards of about 71,000. I'm in a position right now where I'm being very careful and I'm not trying to FOMO in, if you will. In fact, I think a short at 73,000 makes a lot of sense, because that Bitcoin's never closed over 73,000. So again, statistically, the odds are higher that Bitcoin's going to pull back, but I wouldn't be surprised if we just continue to run. Honestly, just the way things are going, it's a very unique market. So that's putting it lightly. All right, what isn't unique and what is awesome is Bitunix, folks. Make sure you check them out. Link down below. There's only a couple days left for this benefit. Future reference, use my link to register. You'll be eligible for every single future benefit reward. And in fact, we're having a competition next month in the month of November. So be sure to check that out. I'll have more information on that soon. And I just want to say thanks again for being an awesome part of my life. Deeply appreciate the wonderful support from the Dogecoin community and or anyone else who's been watching me for months or years. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.